I know everybody's seen this clip from Family Guy at least once. Quagmire literally rips into Brian about why he hates him so much. Not saying it wasn't deserved because Brian is top 10 scum royalty in that whole show. But you are either at the same level or beyond him. Like, you can call Brian a failure as a father, but what about you, fam? Bro is literally the biggest deadbeat of this entire show. Like, in all realness, how do you deny that this is your kid? Heck, he found out he had a daughter right before he was about to bang her. He even got on to Brian about talking about he only wants women for their bodies and he's honest about it, but that is bullshit when it comes to the women he's talking to. Well, this lady right here, she loves dogs, and to sell the illusion that he likes dogs, he even asked Brian to pretend to be his dog to get this girl. And that's just for the girls he don't be straight up napping off the street. And one of his main complaints was going after Lois while he was best friends and the pet of Peter. To be fair, his friendship with Peter is tighter than the rest, so him having feelings for Lois hits very different and much harder. Not only did Quagmire also have a thing for Lois, he's 2 for 3 when it comes to sleeping with his best friend's wives. Cause that's right, he messed with Bonnie at one point too. And while Quagmire hasn't banged Lois, it's not from a lack of trying. And don't even get me started on when he dated Meg. Now, Quagmire was speaking facts the whole time. Yes, he is pretentious, tries to act deep when he's really not. Not a good author, and he failed college twice. But knowing Quagmire's history, Brian definitely has some clapback material. You know what, let's talk about Peter Griffin real quick. Because I would be damned if you really think Peter Griffin just being a dumbass is more dangerous than Stewie. His dumbass decisions and incompetence has straight up fucked a lot of people over. Like the time he tried to blow up a billboard, but instead he ended up blowing up a children's hospital. Or the time he won a marathon by driving through it. I will say one of the biggest victims of Peter Griffin's dumbassery is Cleveland's house. Even when Cleveland's gone, the house still gets fucked up. He's also done Quagmire-worthy stuff. The most fucked up shit usually just happens when Peter's in a fight with a chicken. That'll fuck up a whole city at most. Not only have Stewie and Penelope literally made destroying cities a game, he also has a time machine and frequently alters the past while using it. And because of it, they've rewrote the timeline multiple times and changed many different lives. At the time, Stewie went back in time and gave all the Native Americans guns, which resulted in a majority Native American U.S., including a Native American version of the Griffins. Also, this Brian is a bison, which is actually pretty cool. In the Family Guy universe, canonically, Stewie is the reason Jesus gets betrayed by Judas. Bro came to the North Pole for all the smoke with Santa Claus, because a fake Santa at the mall blew him off. Even wanted to kill Chris because Rupert was his toy before Stewie's. He has a weird thing going on with Rupert. Ain't no way in hell Peter's dumbassery gets close to this. Alright, let me talk about Peter Griffin versus Homer Simpson. The main person we know for fighting Peter Griffin is the chicken, and that beef has been on site for years. It's escalated to the point where a chicken fight will fuck up a whole town. I will say this right now though, that chicken ain't got shit on Homer Simpson. These two cartoon dads fighting was something I didn't even know I needed until I saw it. Also like the fact that around the start of the fight, Homer was actually able to choke the life out of Peter. And then Peter got him off him. He's like, yo, what actually fucking hurts? No, it doesn't, man. I do it to my son all the fucking time. What? Do you choke your own son? Man, no wonder he's a fat nobody that's lonely and shit. That's your son, bitch. Oh, shit. And for the most part, Homer was actually fucking Peter up. Bro used a school bus and was able to drag this motherfucker through the city. Then the fight got taken to the Springfield nuclear power plant. And that ended up doing all kinds of shit, including swapping their DNA for a second. But then it also dropped them into nuclear chemicals and gave them fucking powers and shit. Had them both looking like Superman and the Hulk had children. One clash between these two nuked the damn city. Aliens were watching this shit in 4K, including Roger Smith from American Dad. Then they got inside the ship and it sucked the aliens out into freaking space, and Roger was just like, bye, have a good time, thank you for having me. Also, apparently them powers were as temporary as a Super Mario star because Homer's ran out, but then Peter was like, I'm going to be able to fuck you up at the maximum of my ability as we, damn, I talk too much. That ship then re-enters Earth's atmosphere and crashes, and while they're crashing, they're not only scared, but they're still fighting. It's at this point where these motherfuckers are basically on their last straw. They actually used each other's gags in this. Yeah, Homer was for real taking this damn fight because this man was able to punch all the teeth out this man's mouth. Meanwhile, on the flip side, this man ended up popping out an eye socket and 3 teeth. And even then, the eye went back in socket. Craziest thing is Homer would have won this shit, but then he forgot it was still a Family Guy episode. He ended up getting beaten by plot, leaving Peter to walk away the victor. Of course, Homer was still fucking alive, and surprisingly, the ship didn't even fuck him up in the slightest. I thought that shit cut him in half. Oh no, it was a really good fight, but Peter, you did get saved like a motherfucker. I hate to break it to you, but outside those chicken fights, Peter's hands are not that cold. I mean, this dude only truly bodies kids, random people that don't even want to fight him. Matter of fact, come to think of it, Peter has taken the most L's out of everyone in the show. Brian is as sorry as they come when it comes to hands, and even he's laid decent hands on Peter. Lois has beaten the dog shit out of this man multiple times. This is no surprise given that Lois is the deadlier of the two. Peter's kids have whooped his ass with ease. It wasn't just the ones that look 100% like him. Meg has beaten the dog shit out of him too. Hell, Chris has beaten him up too. Joe, with his non-working ass legs, has been able to put decent hands on Peter. A random bird one-shot him in the nuts, bro. That's enough. So far, the funniest thing that has soloed Peter were these sets of stairs, because the second they got a new set of stairs, he could no longer walk down them. Don't get me wrong, Homer will take L's like a motherfucker, but you got way more showings of him being capable than not. It's even been shown multiple times. It's hard as fuck to even hurt him. This man's durability overtakes Peter's by a landslide. Sam has had himself folded like origami and then had his spine popped like it was bubble wrap. Look at this shit. I remember the time when Homer Simpson became the Terminator for golf, able to do shit like this with just golf clubs. Same dude has become a professional hitman and has even used motorcycles like swords. Then you got the fact the motherfucker's low-key a speedster, because right now he's in a car crash and this motherfucker is experiencing everything in slow motion. So if Homer would have won that fight, it would have been valid. Damn, I hate to break it to you, but Lois got the best hands out that whole family. I've never seen a non-satisfying Lois Griffin fight. She's beaten the shit out of Peter on multiple occasions. In a simulation where Stewie tries to kill Lois and take over the world, it showed Lois would be his biggest threat, and that if they fought, she'd win, but she wouldn't try to kill him because he's her baby. Then there was the time she became a famous women's boxer, and then had to face the best women's boxer in Family Guy, and after taking hits from her for a round and a half, she started actually fighting back in the second round, going for her blow for blow, and then two tapped her into a knockout. She learned taijutsu from this man Jared, fought him, and then won. She soloed 3 Kryptonians when Superman couldn't even do that. Off raw strength, she drags Stewie's time machine out of that damn room. Then you got the fact she can box dangerous wildlife like this shark and make it run in fear. That was just her on the regular. Remember that one episode where she got jacked? Matter of fact, she's been jacked in this show multiple times. No one could fuck with her at either time. This ain't me saying Lois solos the whole actually it is. But in the case of a Griffin Battle Royale or someone the Griffins can't beat by themselves, Lois will be the last one to go down. So I posted the Lois vid on YouTube. Y'all go ahead and follow that, trying to get to 1,000. And someone else bought this up there as well. So let me talk about Lois versus Nicole. Now I'm gonna need you to take one look at Lois and say RIP, because that's what's gonna happen if she goes and fucks with Nicole Watterson. I don't even need to bring up the anime fight. I'm gonna just bring up everything else. You're about to have her fighting someone who casually breaks the sound barrier. Hell, she can even stop a bank robbery while doing so with the kids in tow. Everything else she does when her kids are late for school. Someone who's down to be locked in a room with a T-Rex and box that bitch in the dark and come out with not a scratch on her. A T-Rex got buried in its own crib. An angry stare from her does this. Hell, for my Ghost Rider fans, the bitch got a penance stare. She's done it more than once with various effects. This girl will do an elbow drop on her own car. And if she doesn't want to fight you, she can just roast the will to fight her out of you. She can Hulk out. None of this is new either. She's trained to be this badass ever since she was a fucking kid. How the hell do you even do this? Probably because she was trained Dragon Ball style. For all the stuff Nicole can do, Lois ain't got shit to combat it. Lois's pack will be rolled, smoked, and passed around to the family. You know what? Let me talk about Chris and Meg. Now, Chris by himself is the weakest link, and he does not have that many good showings of fighting. Up until a certain point, you did not see him have anything but average big dude hands. Apparently, if you touch him, though, he does not like that shit and will go off on you. Hell, he's even beating the dog shit out of his dad for doing that shit. While he does have some wrestling moves, it ain't nothing that Meg couldn't reverse immediately. Meg, however, is a whole different story. Not only does she have durability out the nines because she keeps being used as a punching bag for the whole verse, she's shown to be pretty decent in a fight, too. Come to think of it, she's actually shown to be pretty scary when she puts her mind to it. Bro, one time Meg got sent to prison and she just started beating up on anybody in the family who decided to try and test her. How you curb stop someone teeth first? She the only person I know that will take a whole bag full of soda cans and just use them to whoop everybody's ass. She doesn't even need to fight you because Meg's body is so gross she can kill you just by flashing you. This is a fatality if I've ever seen one in my life. But the one thing I like about Meg and Chris is the fact that when you put them two together, they create a whole Kingsman scene. These two pulled a dynamic duo against their whole entire class, using everything as a fucking weapon. I'm surprised they're not a combo in Mortal Kombat 1, because this is a duo fatality if I've ever seen one in my life. If they jump you, you better run.